Hey guys, Jacob Barnhill with the Barnhill Team at eXp Realty. Today we're going to be doing a live example. I have some mortgage calculators up and things like that so you guys can consider and weigh some options. And let's talk some real estate advice on waiting for interest rates and what the market's doing a little bit right now. So I know a lot of people are out there, they want to wait till interest rates drop because things are getting expensive, right? Gas is super expensive, groceries are getting super expensive. A mortgage on a home is getting super expensive. I think I just saw the interest rates hike up over 7% today. So let's check this out. I'm going to run two different scenarios and look at some costs and benefits, not only through the mortgage payment, but also what we might want to consider when we're looking at what type of market we're stepping into as well. So let's look at scenario number one. I'm actually going to present a screen share here. So, all right, we're going to do mortgage calculator. See if I got this right. Okay, I think I got it. All right, so in this scenario right here, we've got a mortgage purchase price of $250,000. This is, let's say, in this market today, we have $250,000 house that we're looking at. We're going to put 5% down. If you guys don't know, you don't need 20% all the time, right? So 7.637%. This is by default what the mortgage calculator has in for today. So interest rates are starting to get up there. That's going to put us at a $2,009 mortgage payment. That's going to be your PITI, right? That's your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Plus, there's some PMI in there too, which is your mortgage insurance. Since we're not putting 20% down, the lender is usually going to require that we have almost all the time some PMI in there if we're not putting 20% down. So, all right, so the mortgage payment comes out to $2,009. Now, that might be expensive for some, that might be affordable for others. If we're saying, hey, this is too expensive right now to get into this market, we're going to wait until interest rates drop. So I have another scenario that I'm going to share with you guys that actually shows purchase price at 5.5%. Okay. Now, the purchase price has increased because right now what we're seeing is that year over year, we're seeing price increases in our market. So let's say that we've waited 2 years and we've got an interest rate at 5.5%. And now let's look at this scenario. Let me go find this guy. All right. So at 5.5%, let me go find my other screen and I can share this with you guys. See if I got the right one. There we go. So 5.5% interest rate. This is at 285. So I accounted for a 4%, and that's a national average. We have a 4% increase in price year over year. And then I also added in, if we see your interest rates drop, guess what happens a lot of times? We see a lot more of the buyers flood back into the marketplace. So now that creates more competition. So you may be paying a little bit more for the house because there's some competition. Plus, we've waited and we've seen price increases year over year at 4% for 2 years following today. So now that $250,000 house is $285,000. Again, that's 4% next year, then another 4% on top of that. Then we've added some other costs on top of that purchase price because now there's more competition that's flooded back into the marketplace and things become more competitive. So our mortgage payment starts to equal out about, it's really close, within about $200, right? within about 200 bucks, even though our interest rate is significantly lower, but we're seeing those price increases, right? Now we're having competition, things like that. So some things to consider, right, is there's a phrase you may have heard is marry the house, date the rate. Marry the house, date the rate. So we may be able to save you guys some of those costs by getting less house, maybe a higher interest rate today, but less on the purchase price is what I meant. And we're able to work in some closing costs and some other things because there's less competition. So we can get a nice discount on the purchase price potentially. We could also work in, because there's not a lot of competition, some closing costs. So that's less cash out of pocket. Plus, another thing to consider, we may be thinking that we want to wait until prices drop and interest rates drop. And if we're in an environment like that where we're seeing prices start to drop and you have one to sell, we might have to consider that we're going to have, it might be harder to actually sell the house, or you might not be selling for as much as you think. So now we're not putting as much down, or we're not able to pay off other debt, or whatever we were going to do with that equity. Or if you just want to look at everything, dollar for dollar, if we were going to, make these payments over here, or we only wanted to finance so much over here on the buy side, but now we have our property decrease in price and we're making $20 or $30 or $40,000 less on the one we're selling. These are all things that you guys want to consider. So things that I wrote down that I want you guys to consider right now: there's less competition in the marketplace. Another thing is, if you wait, you might be paying higher on your purchase price because we're seeing prices still increase. That hasn't stopped, right, for quite some time. Also, we might have less cash out of pocket that we'll have to front because there's less competition. We're able to work in things like some closing cost assistance today. It also could be harder to sell the one that you're in. So just some different things to consider, right? If you guys are going to wait, there could be some costs and there could be some benefits. If you're going to buy and or sell now, there could be some costs and some benefits depending on your taste for competition and how you want to approach the market that you're in today. A really good way to look at it is there's always opportunity. What are the best tools that we could use in today's market if there is a big life decision that is pushing you towards making a move and making a transition, upsizing, downsizing, right sizing, you're moving because of a job or whatever that is. It's good to reach to a professional to figure out what are my options and what is the best way for me to take full advantage of all the opportunity in today's market. We might be able to get you an equal opportunity across the board rather than waiting, or we might be able to improve that situation. It depends. Everyone is a little bit different. So if you guys want that tailored plan, you know how to reach out to us. If you guys like these tips, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Hit us up in the comment box too if you guys have any feedback or have any questions or topics for future videos. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you on the next video. Stay savvy. Peace out.